Hi, I'm Karina Walter, and welcome to the Standard Newsroom. I'm here with St. Catharines Mayor Walter Sendzik for our monthly chat with the mayor. Welcome.
Good to be back.
We need to start with the beard. What's the status of the beard? When is it coming off?
It's gotten longer since the last time I was on, and it is now 8 weeks in, and so I've got 3 more to go, and it's for the Walker Cancer Center in St. Catharines. Tom Rankin obviously was the one who has bid to put me through this process, because it is a process I'm going through. It's the first time I've ever had a beard, and it comes off Thanksgiving. So it's for a good cause, and I got to thank Tom again for allowing me this experience, because I don't think I will do this again.
You've been out and about at a lot of grape and wine events this week. Are people now recognizing you with the beard?
No.
Because you were saying before you were having
There's still a funny story. I was at my daughter's soccer game on the weekend, and I had a conversation with my mom. Great conversation, talking about what's going on. And then as I left to go watch my daughter play soccer, my dad came over and said to my mom, "Who were you just talking to?" And she's like, "It's your son." My dad doesn't even recognize me, so it is a challenge. But this weekend I will be walking the Grape and Wine Parade downtown St. Catharines, and so I think I'm going to be wearing the chain of office, because that's the signifier that I'm the mayor with the beard.
Mm-hmm. What else is going on this weekend for Grape and Wine for you?
It's a overall exciting weekend with the parade, and then there's so many different events taking place in the park, and then people are having their own parties around grape and wine. So I'll be just jumping from different event related to the wine festival, saying hi to folks, and just really embracing what is a significant community event. So it's looking forward to seeing a lot of familiar faces, a lot of friends, and saying hi to the people in the community that I've come to know and appreciate.
We were talking right before we started here about the grape stomp on the weekend, and are you actually retiring now from the grape stomping?
I think after 2 years and the amount of training that I have to go through to actually become a grape stomp champion, it is a lot of work. And so I'm thinking of hanging up the feet and allowing the next generation to come forward and claim the title, unless the mayor of Niagara Falls decides to actually put in some training. He's going to have to lose some weight. He's going to have to put in some significant hours on the treadmill and really maybe working out his feet a bit more than he does today. And if he were to challenge me next year, I think I would put the title on the line. But it would be like that Rocky Balboa kind of thing, So I think I might be hanging him up unless I get the call from Jim.
Well, hopefully Mayor Diodati is watching right now.
He's afraid. He's afraid of me.
Well, I did want to ask you about some other things that you've been up to this past week, besides the grape and wine, and that includes a conference that you were at yesterday about diversity.
I was in Toronto. It's a new conference called 6 Degrees, and it's hosted by John Rostensaul and Adrienne Clarkson, the former Governor General of Canada, and it was a conference designed around refugees and immigrants coming into communities and what it means to Canada. So it was very inspiring, lots of great ideas, and also understanding about the importance of language, understanding the importance of what prosperity means to a community. So yesterday's session was all on prosperity, and what we talked about was there's the economic side of prosperity, and then there's the social prosperity. The inclusivity of social prosperity is much more valuable than just economic prosperity. And so it allows me to come back to the community and look at St. Catharines in a different way and using different language. And the day before there was a big discussion about the language we use when it comes to refugees and immigrants in our community and how we approach and dialogue with them. Many times it's a us versus us and them, not versus, but us and them. We've got to be mindful of our language, and there's certain things we can do to improve on that. And I think we can improve on that in St. Catharines. So it was 2 days of very high-level thinking, and now it's for me to distill it and talk to council about how do we continue to build a dynamic, inclusive community, because we are receiving Syrian refugees and we are benefiting from immigrants coming into our community, and that in itself will make our community a better place.
How do you think we are doing on that?
I know the Niagara Folk Arts, the Multicultural Center is taking a leadership role in there, and the integration of the Syrian family into the Niagara community has been embraced, and there's a lot of positive examples coming out about the experiences that the Syrian families are having. But there's more that we can do on a larger level in terms of making our community feel inclusive and making sure that it's not just about, as I learned at the event, it's not just about providing the blanket or raising funds. It's about the friendship. It's about extending the friendships. It's about including the families in networks, because communities are made up of networks. And so when we look at prosperity and when we look at inclusion, it's the strength of the network that becomes very important. And that's something that I'll be examining now through that lens as we move forward.
Is that something that City Hall can get involved in?
I think so. I think we can play a convener role through conversation, dialogue. We can play a role in terms of getting information out to the larger community. And we can play a role in setting targets and setting objectives so that community groups that are working together, whether they be faith-based or social organizations, how they're all working together to enhance and create a greater sense of inclusivity. So that's something that we can do, I believe, as a city hall, and then moving forward, just making sure that we continue to use language that's inclusive as well.
One of the things that happened this week was the NRP moved to their new headquarters
Right.
in Niagara Falls from 110 James Street, across the street from City Hall. What's going to happen to that office building now?
Well, it is a regionally owned asset. So from my understanding is that once the transfer has taken place, and I got to say the headquarters that's opened up in Niagara Falls it's a beautiful facility, and they've done a lot of the right things in terms of architecture and how they've built the structure, and I think it'll be a long-lasting signature for our community in terms of the location of the headquarters. For us downtown in St. Catharines, the region will be looking to create that as to identify that as a surplus property, and then they'll put that on the open market for someone to come in. How does that benefit St. Catharines? Because a lot of people are saying that it's a hole in our community because you're taking out this working class of office people. It still is a significant structure there. And when you look at what's happening in St. Catharines, we're attracting more and more high technology companies, IT companies, software developers, and they're looking at our downtown as that area to go for creativity. So we are the creative hub of Niagara, and I think that building will continue to solidify our position in Niagara as the urban core when it comes to the professional class, if you will, of businesses.
So you think there'll be enough demand for office space that building will eventually be filled again?
Oh, I would go on record as saying is that more and more businesses are looking at downtown St. Catharines from an investment perspective, and I think you will see an upward pressure on our vacancy rates for office space, and that building should be filled pretty quick.
The other thing we've been seeing over the last couple of weeks is the Burgoyne Bridge arch going up.
Right.
And we're really starting to see almost an entire arch now. We had a reader question. One of our readers is asking, will they be outfitting the new Burgoyne Bridge with multicolor programmable LED lights similar to the ones on the Canal Bridge in Welland? I say yes.
Right, and that's a great question, and it's something that we're now exploring. So it will have static LED white lights that were built into the budget, where we would like the opportunity as a city is to work with the region to see if we can get that reconfigured so it is programmable lighting. It is a signature bridge, it is a signature archway. Being able to showcase the colors for different events in our community, whether it be for Alzheimer's or whether it be for autism or prostate cancer or breast, in support of CIBC Run for the Cure. If we can do those kind of color configurations, I think that would be a great entry point into our downtown. So we'll be working with the region to see if that's possible, and we'll be looking for our staff report to come back, but that's a great question.
The other question one of our readers was asking was about paperless billing. They said most of the utility companies are using paperless billing to save money. Is St. Catharines looking at creating paperless billing for our tax and water bills in the future?
Another good question, because it pertains to our strategic plan, which one of the pillars is on the environment and looking at ways that we can improve our own city systems to have a lighter footprint on the environment. And so that is one way that we're looking at it. We had a IT presentation on future looking for budgets, for budget costing, and that is an area that we need to invest in. There will be an upfront cost for us to get to that stage, but it is one that I think from a consumer point of view, they want that opportunity to do that, so we have to accelerate it. So I can't provide a timeline, but it is definitely on our radar.
Got a city council coming up on Monday, city council meeting, and then another one the Monday after that.
Right.
One of the things coming up on Monday is the option for people to be able to pay for parking downtown with a mobile device.
And we just talked about IT, so I got to give staff a lot of credit on this one, because this is something that staff have been working on, and now with this report, it does position us well for having the technology that allows people to pay on their phone, which will provide a more convenient way of parking in our downtown. So it's about on-street parking, being able to use your phone, and you can be in a restaurant and you'll get an alert that says you have 15 minutes left on would you like to add more to it, and you can just say yes, and it adds a half hour, 2 hours. It'll, I think, cut down on the number of people getting tickets who are using their mobile device for it. Two is, it'll also increase the potential revenue for the city, because someone sitting there having lunch will look and go, yeah, I'll just do another half hour, instead of rushing through their lunch and then having to get out to the meter in hopes that they don't get a ticket. So I think from the user perspective, the customer, great opportunity. From the city's perspective, it'll enhance our parking and experience in the downtown, which it'll make it beneficial for everybody. So this is a great news story if council approves it on Monday as well, but it is a great news story.
Won't the city also be decreasing its revenue, though, if you're giving out less tickets?
Well, it's $12 a ticket if you get fined, but the reality is that for every person who gets that alert that says they're at the Performing Arts Center during the day, or they're at a restaurant, or they're shopping, that, I think, incremental increase in revenue as you click through, yes, 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 I'm going to increase it by an hour, 2 hours, that will more than make up for the disgruntled $12 ticket that then ends up at City Hall, and then someone has to take that ticket and process it. If you look at it from a productivity standpoint, it'll increase our productivity because we hopefully won't be dealing with as many tickets.
Okay. And I understand from this system, people will still be able to pay using change or...
Oh yeah, you still have it's the technology will be embedded in the actual parking meter. So technology will be embedded in there, but you'll still be able to pay by coins.
Right. We're seeing a lot more people parking downtown now with all the facilities. So.
Oh, there's parking's a premium. It's great. And with the student housing opening on James and Lake, you've got 700 kids downtown walking around. I got to tell you, there is a lot of people who are new to our downtown from those residences that are experiencing St. Catharines downtown for the first time, and they are loving it.
Good to hear. Well, we're running out of time, so thank you for joining us.
It goes by so quick.
I know, it really does. And look out for the mayor in the parade. He's the one wearing the chain.
And I got a beard, so the next time I'm on will be end of October, a month from now. I will look 20 pounds lighter and 10 years younger.
So join us in October. Thank you.